Hello guys, my name's James. Welcome to my video. I'll be showing you today how to clean an O-ring motorcycle chain. What you'll need today is some rags, some brake cleaner, a jug to put some diesel in, toothbrush or a chain cleaning brush, and a container that you can spray diesel out of. So we're using the rag and the brake cleaner for cleaning the sprockets, a toothbrush or a chain cleaning brush with the diesel on the bottom section of chain to clean the chain. The diesel will be used to break down the dirt that is on the chain without causing any harm to the O-rings because it's safe to use. And we'll also be cleaning any muck off the sprockets and off the motorcycle. So this chain has done 12,500 miles of road use. That's including 9 track days. And this is after a long commute through the winter with all the salt on the roads. And it needs the chain lubricated and cleaned now, so I'm going to show you how to do it. So here you can see I've placed the lid of a box underneath the chain. The bike's on its stands and this will catch any of the oil that's going to fall off the chain. So I've also placed a bag over the wheel. This will also stop any of the diesel getting on the chain. So I'm going to spray some diesel on the chain. This is going to start to break down the dirt off of the chain. And also the diesel being very good and safe to use on the O-rings. You don't want to be using stuff like brake cleaner or petrol to clean a chain that has O-rings, because this will crack the O-rings and allow the dirt to get in. So I'm just going to grab a toothbrush, and I've been dunking it into the diesel to make sure it's got a good coating over the chain and the links. And I'm just rubbing the chain links, all of the different edges between the actual links and the pins, and I'm just getting that into all the different gaps, and as it starts to dry out I'm just going to dunk it in there and clean some of the dirt off with the toothbrush. Once again rubbing it in between the links. Always start from the top half on the bottom section of the chain, so don't clean the chain from the top half, always do it how I'm doing it. This way you won't get any of the dirt drip down onto any of the bike or anything. And don't forget to do the inner edge as well, because all of the edges of the chain need to be cleaned thoroughly. As you're going along and cleaning each part of the chain, don't forget to keep spraying it with the diesel, as this will wash any of the dirt that you've broken down off onto the tray, and also it will break down the dirt even further, so that as you do start to scrub it with the toothbrush, it will start to break off a lot easier. I know it sounds stupid using a toothbrush, but this is a very effective way of doing it very thoroughly, because you can get it into all of the different links. And although it is a very long way of cleaning the chain, very effective, and I've been doing this way for quite a long time now and I've had no problems. You will see later on in the video using the actual chain brush. It is a lot more effective, and it does the job quicker. But anyway, I would still go over it with the toothbrush because it does miss some sections. Another thing to mention is you'll notice I'm wearing gloves. I definitely recommend you must wear gloves when doing this, because you don't want the diesel getting onto your skin when working on this. Also it gets very messy and it's hard to clean off, so just make sure the whole area is covered and your hands are covered, and you're not wearing clothes that you're worried about getting dirty. So now it's time for the final rinse down of this section of chain. As you can notice, I'm only doing about 6 links at a time. That's just to keep it in a safe place where I'm not getting the rest of the wheel or the bike dirty, so I'm keeping it in the easiest access place. So now I've washed that down and all of the dirt stripped off of the chain. I'm just getting my rag or microfiber in this case, and I'm just going to dry the chain as thoroughly as I can. I don't want to keep any of that diesel in the links, because when it comes to lubricating the chain, I want it to be dry for the lubricant to stick into the link. So as you can see, there's a massive difference now between this part of the chain I've cleaned and as I spin it around to the dirtier section of the chain, just making sure that that bin liner bag on the wheel doesn't move out the way, because we don't want it to get onto the motorcycle tyre. and I'm just once again following the process through, so getting the bike, getting the chain wet with the diesel with the spray, once again dunking the chain brush into the diesel to keep it clean, and just scrubbing up and down along the chain. This chain brush has 3 sides, so this has brushes on both sides and the top half. So as I'm scrubbing it along, it's cleaning both sides and the top half of the chain, which is why in a second you'll see me turn it around and I'll do the bottom section just to make sure it's cleaned to the chain fully. So this is a bit more physical but a lot quicker. So just keeping it wet to break down the dirt, and I've turned it around just to do the bottom half of the chain. Good thing about this brush is it's very cheap. You can pick these up on eBay or Amazon for as little as £2. So they're very cheap and very effective. But I would say this is quite a messy job, so do be prepared to keep the area as covered as possible, because the stuff that sticks to your chain can be very hard to get off and will require the use of chemicals or liquids like diesel to break down the dirt. So with this process, it's very simple, just keeping it dunked in at all times, scrubbing it along the chain, and we'll probably do this for about 2 minutes on each section of about 5 to 6 links. So you want to spend about 2 to 3 minutes just so it's got a thorough clean between the each link and pins. So now I'm turning the brush around. I'm using the other section of the brush, and this is just going to get into the center parts of the links, so the bits where the brush isn't going to be able to get into. I do find this method a lot more effective using the toothbrush, but this does get into the deeper sections that the brush won't get into. So I'm going to continue doing that for this section of the chain. So this is the finished part of the chain now, so I'm not going to keep repeating the procedure. You just have to keep doing it to each 6 links at a time, and as you can see, the massive difference the diesel and the brushes are making on the chain compared to the untouched sections. So now you can see just how much dirt has come off of this chain. So in the tray, all of that dirty diesel, and in the pot there, you can just see all of the dirt that's come off this chain drained down. And now you can see the massive change in the finish of the chain. It's brought back the original brand new colour, and it looks new again. So that's a great result. So the chain's been fully cleaned now. Now we've just got to do the other areas that were affected by the chain flick. So I'm going to lift the chain up and with a slightly wet toothbrush with the diesel, and just scrub along the top section of the guide as much as possible. And then when most of that's off, I get a ball of paper and I jam it underneath the top section of the chain, and then by spinning the back wheel it will very tightly push that paper against the top guide, and after a few times you'll get all of the dirt out that was on the top of the guide. As you can see, a bit of dirt's come off there, and just with a bit of brake cleaner and the paper going around the frame and just wiping off any of the excess muck that's been sprayed over. And once again with the toothbrush and a bit of brake cleaner around the engine covers just to clean off that chain flick. So now the last part of the cleaning, so I'm going to get another rag that's very clean, and just make sure that the chain's fully dried off. And now we're going to go and put the brake cleaner on the microfiber or the rag, and this is where we'll be cleaning all of the muck that's stuck onto the sprocket. So the reason why I use brake cleaner is it is a brilliant cleaner. It's probably one of the best cleaners you can use when working on vehicles, because it basically dissolves and dilutes anything that's oil based, and it evaporates very quickly, so it doesn't leave any mess behind. Brilliant for cleaning off anything that's obviously oil based, oil leaks, or anything like this where the actual chain loop is stuck onto the sprockets. So just getting the microfiber into each individual teeth on the chain sprockets, and just rubbing it along the actual grooves of the chain sprocket, and also on each side, just to clean off every bit of dirt that's on the chain. So as you can notice, I'm spraying it onto the rag and not the sprocket. That's because otherwise it would just cause more mess, and it would just cause the dirt to dribble down the sprocket. So to save time, just spray it onto the rag, and also keep moving the rag to clean sections. You don't want to keep using the same dirty section on the rag to clean it. So here you can see massive difference to the chain sprocket, and now you can see just the difference and how much easier the chain will be able to slide over without having that gritty paste that's on the sprocket. If you left that on, obviously it would cause a lot of premature wear to the chain and the sprockets. This chain has been on the bike for 12,500 miles, and I've got virtually no wear to the teeth. I've got a little bit of discoloration where it's worn through the anodized layer, but the actual shape of the teeth is fine. You're looking for things like shark teething off the sprockets. That's where the teeth will start to slope over the side where the chain pulls against it, and as you can see, this is fine. So when you're cleaning your chain, just make sure that your teeth aren't wearing low, otherwise this will cause your chain to slip. So now finally everything's clean. I've cleaned the chain fully. All of the sprockets been cleaned with the brake cleaner and the rag. I've cleaned the swing arm. I've even given the rear shock absorber a little bit of a clean from where all the dirt's built up. All around the engine casing's clean from where I've used the rag and the brake cleaner, and the front sprocket's all clean now. And not to forget, go over the tyre with the paper and the brake cleaner to make sure there's no lubricant on the rear tyre. So now it's time to coat the chain in the lubricant. This is what I'll be using, the chain wax. So for this part, you'll need someone to spin the rear wheel for you while you hold a rag, and you're just going to spray the top edge of the lower section of the chain, and you're going to try and get it on both of the sides of the chain and on the back section of the two links. And I'd spray this for about 3 or 4 revolutions just to make sure you got it completely coated. So now the final part, just wrap your rag around the chain, and as it's been spun, just try and wipe off the excess lubricant that's on your chain, and that's the job finished. So you can use either chain oil or chain wax. As long as they're suitable for O-rings, it shouldn't cause any problem. I like to use chain wax because it doesn't fling off as easily, and I think it does a better and a cleaner job. I dislike how the oil attracts dirt, and I think the dirt then causes it to become more of a grinding paste. So that's my main reason for using chain wax. So I hope this video has been helpful for you for when you clean your chain. Remember to clean your chain roughly once every 1,000 miles or less. And thank you for watching my video.